This is Nightline. Tonight, what happened to Joanna? How did this energetic 37-year-old woman wind up dead at one of California's most popular hiking destinations? And did the man who says he found her have anything to do with it? What authorities are saying tonight about the marks left on her neck. Plus, what's your bag? Vintage purses are hot, hot, hot.
This is the original Birkin.
From the jaw-dropping auction action of the original Birkin to bygone-era bags toted by young celebrities like Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo, and Kaya Gerber. What's old is bold again.
You're going to find a bag that nobody else has.
We're behind the scenes with some of the country's top purse dealers.
This is like a shopper's dream. It's also kind of like a little museum.
Why they say buying vintage could be the gift that keeps on giving. And hours before the expiration of the Iran ceasefire deal, President Trump making a bold announcement, what we're learning tonight. Plus, hear the new Prince demo. The new video from the music legend's estate 10 years after his tragic passing. From ABC News headquarters in New York, this is Nightline. Thanks for joining us. Tonight, gruesome details now emerging in the disturbing story of a seemingly vibrant woman found dead in one of California's most popular hiking destinations. One witness describing a man who claimed to be with her. Why authorities are treating this as a suspicious death. Tonight, growing questions over the mysterious death of a hiker in California's scenic Big Sur. On April 9th, a group of hikers discovered the body of 37-year-old Joanna Shields, seen here in this photo from a crowdsourcing website.
I didn't see any blood. She was pale. She had markings around her neck, and then when the firefighter lifted the jacket, he confirmed that she had a big gash on her head.
The group found her near a popular hiking trail and say they also encountered a man who said he was her friend.
His face just looked numb and dull.
The man telling them what he says happened.
She went to the bathroom, she was cleaning herself off in the river, and he went looking for her and then just saw her face down in the water. Naked.
Yeah.
Authorities quickly launching an investigation, but a preliminary autopsy did not determine a suspected cause of death, though it did confirm the marks on her neck were not caused by strangulation.
This person tragically had injuries that were consistent with injuries that would be caused by insects.
Investigators say they're still treating the death as suspicious and are awaiting toxicology results, which could take weeks. Shields' family and friends mourning her loss. A crowdsourcing website post remembering her bright and adventurous spirit, saying there was something so free about her, like she belonged to the wind and the sunshine. Her sister Claudia writing on Instagram, "We're all in different stages of grief as we attempt to process such a devastating blow to our hearts."
Beautiful day!
Shields' free spirit on display on her Instagram feed, showing her skills as an avid skateboarder.
She just had so much energy. She was just so passionate, so kind, and she was always, putting other people first.
And of course, we'll continue to follow the story as it unfolds. But we turn now to our behind-the-scenes look into the booming business of vintage high-end purses, where quality is king, pedigree is everything, and old is never out of style. Here's ABC's Rhiannon Alley.
Luxury purses, the it bags that Carrie Bradshaw wore on Sex and the City.
Give me your bag.
What?
Your bag.
It's a baguette.
Miranda Priestley accessorized in The Devil Wears Prada. And Regina George slung on her forearm in Mean Girls are almost hotter today than they were 25 years ago.
I'm super into Valentino lately.
The very first Hermes Birkin bag ever made, going under the hammer at Sotheby's Paris last summer. The winning bidder paying a shocking and record $10.1 million. And while they might not have millions to spend, some bag fanatics are just as obsessed with scoring the perfect purse.
We are doing a massive vintage archive sale. We have over 2,000 RSVPs right now, so it's really crazy and exciting.
Young celebrities from Sabrina Carpenter and Olivia Rodrigo to Kaya Gerber showing their love for certain pre-loved purses.
Whenever we see a celebrity wearing a vintage style, we just see a huge surge in people searching for it on the secondhand market.
Those searches turning into big sales. The secondhand fashion and luxury market is predicted to triple the growth of the firsthand market, reaching $317 billion by next year. Driving many of these buyers, high quality and lower costs.
Everyone still loves a good Louis Vuitton print. They still love the Chanel double flap, so I definitely think with our prices, we're gonna see those fly off the shelves.
Nick Polina owns a small business selling secondhand luxury bags and vintage accessories.
A lot of people my age, like young millennial, older Gen Z, we were growing up, we were watching shows like Friends and Sex and the City and like wanting to be in New York and wanting to wear these fabulous pieces of clothes. Now, when we're living that life, we're like, wait, but where are those bags? Where are those pieces? And we're yearning for them.
Polina says many of today's luxury bags just don't measure up to their older versions.
You're buying these bags that maybe are made of polyester for $200 to $500. So the next logical step would be to look at vintage bags, which are only a little bit more and made with so much more quality.
When we look back to vintage Chanel bags, those bags used to be made with 24-karat gold-plated hardware, handmade construction.
Fashion journalist Emily Stokel says secondhand shoppers searching for that quality also want something special.
I feel like things that used to be used are now really being celebrated as pre-loved or vintage. The main reasons why people tend to choose secondhand are quality for money, good value, and uniqueness. You're going to find a bag that nobody else has.
Demand for pre-loved luxury is expected to even outpace new luxury items. That's a big shift.
The cost of new luxury keeps rising and rising again since the pandemic. Part of this is because of increased cost of living, of tariffs, of inflation, but these brands keep raising their prices sometimes 2 to 3 times a year.
Take the Chanel Medium Classic Flat Bag. In 2016, it cost less than $5,000. 10 years later, the price more than doubling to nearly $12,000.
This Louis Vuitton Speedy is from 1989.
And how much did it sell for in 1989?
Mid 200s, like 240, 250.
This is a new one.
This is a new one, and now it's almost $2,000.
Wow.
At ultra-luxury reseller Fashion File, founder and president Linsey Davis says even high-end shoppers are on the hunt for a steal.
Overall, they're looking for a deal on something that's authentic and, and heritage quality.
Is this the way to get a bargain?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I like to buy things that are better than I can afford, but I can afford it if I buy it used.
Davis taking us into the Fashion File cage, home to thousands of secondhand bags and accessories.
This is like a shopper's dream.
It's also kind of like a little museum, honestly.
The huge inventory offering pre-loved luxury at nearly every price point.
You can see this is actually old and has quite a bit of wear, and so this is probably going to be a killer deal.
Yeah.
And some people are just going to not care.
Still, Davis says Fashion File's consistent bestsellers are classics, like the Louis Vuitton Speedy, the Chanel Flap, and the Balenciaga City Bag.
The top 5 bags that we sell every year are kind of the same ones of last year and the year before.
We're also seeing a lot of demand for the Chloe Paddington bag. For the last couple of years, Y2K styles have been very popular.
The demand for unique and one-of-a-kind bags even making fashion history last summer.
This bag is not a standard Birkin. So this is the original Birkin, the first ever made by Hermès.
This 40-year-old, well-worn leather tote was made for and carried by its namesake, the late actress Jane Birkin.
The legend began on the flight. It's a sort of chance encounter between Jane Birkin and the CEO of Hermès, Jean-Louis Dumas. She was complaining about the bag that she was carrying, and Jean-Louis Dumas just said, "I am Hermès. I can make a bag for you."
At auction, Jane's original Birkin sold for that record $10.1 million to the Japanese CEO of a luxury resale company.
Do you think secondhand luxury handbags can be seen as a good investment?
Secondhand luxury handbags actually appreciate in value, especially the classics. Your Hermes bags, your Chanel, your Louis Vuitton, and that investment just keeps continuing to grow for you.
But other bag fans see their value differently.
What I like about a vintage purse is that anyone can wear it. It's not size exclusive. Bags are forever to me.
Our thanks to Rhiannon. When we come back, President Trump's bold announcement about the ceasefire with Iran. How close are we to ending the war? What we're hearing from Washington after the break. This is day 53 of the war with Iran. As tensions continue to flare over the critical Strait of Hormuz, what is the White House doing to bring the conflict to a close? With less than 24 hours before the deadline with Iran was set to expire, President Trump extending the ceasefire while continuing to block the Strait of Hormuz.
Trump not commenting on his decision at an event at the White House this afternoon.
Iran is refusing to come to the bargaining table unless the U.S. ends its blockade of Iranian ports.
The vice president was expected to travel to Islamabad today to resume these talks. The White House has been eager to jumpstart these negotiations. The president this morning even sounding optimistic, saying Iran would have to strike a deal. But then Iran made clear that they simply were not going to resume talks until the U.S. ends its naval blockade.
Iran's foreign minister declaring blockading Iranian ports is an act of war and thus a violation of the ceasefire, adding Iran knows how to resist bullying.
The president has made it clear that he wants the war to end. He sees the impact both on domestic prices on gas, but he sees the global economy and how it hurts the global economy to have that much oil bottled up in the Strait. But that doesn't mean that he's going to give in to Iranian demands.
Earlier, the president had declared it's highly unlikely he will extend the ceasefire, insisting if there's no deal, lots of bombs start going off.
Well, they're going to negotiate, and if they don't, they're going to see problems like they've never seen before.
The president telling CNBC earlier today,
well, I expect to be bombing because I think that's a better attitude to go in with, but we're ready to go. I mean, the military is raring to go.
Now, the president not saying how long the new ceasefire will last.
It is notable that the president isn't putting any kind of deadline on this new ceasefire. Right now, this standoff over the blockade continues.
The war is now in its 8th week. At least 13 American service members have died in the conflict, and hundreds have been wounded. Pentagon officials saying Operation Epic Fury cost American taxpayers roughly $11 billion in its first 6 days alone.
The president and this administration are looking for a deal to end this war that the president started 8 weeks ago now. And he needs an off-ramp, especially because the president is acutely aware of the political liability that this war presents to Republicans and to his administration as we barrel toward the midterms.
A major point of contention, control over the Strait of Hormuz, which was responsible for carrying 20% of the world's oil before the war.
The U.S. blockade of the Strait of Hormuz remains very effective. The U.S. has a number of ships there, and it's working very effectively because they have air power, air cover, the ability to use airplanes, to use satellites to survey the whole straits and keep track of which ships are trying to run the gauntlet.
A new animation by Marine Traffic shows only one vessel traveling through this past Sunday. And this is what normal traffic looked like before the war, according to Marine Traffic.
Tensions flaring in recent days.
This video shows the moment the U.S. Navy delivers a warning to an Iranian tanker trying to move past the American blockade.
Motor Vessel Tosca, Motor Vessel Tosca, vacate your engine room. Vacate your engine room. We're prepared to subject you to disabling fire.
CENTCOM says the ship ignored repeated warnings over a 6-hour period. The U.S. Navy firing at the ship, Marines then boarding it and ultimately taking it into custody. Iranian state media calling the seizure a violation of the ceasefire and claiming Iran's military will respond soon. American troops also flying out on helicopters to board an oil tanker believed to be part of Iran's illicit shipping fleet. U.S. officials say more than 24 ships have turned around as a result of the blockade. Iran also fired on 2 Indian-registered ships near the Strait of Hormuz over the weekend. ABC News obtaining this audio of the captain of one of those tankers frantically pleading with Iran's Navy.
Sepa Navy, this is Motoranga Sanmar Herald. You gave me clearance to go. My name second on your list. You gave me clearance to go. You are fighting now. Let me turn back.
Caught in the middle are the seafarers aboard the tankers and cargo ships. These voice notes were sent to ABC News by one stuck on an oil tanker near the Strait of Hormuz. ABC News has altered their voice.
We feel trapped, we feel like we are in a prison because effectively we cannot leave. The only way to leave is through the Strait of Hormuz, and that is not possible at the moment. The ones who give in to the pressure of crossing the strait do so with the target on their backs. The fact that we are a loaded tanker gives us both a real danger of massive explosion, but also a shield, because attacking us would cause massive impact in the whole area.
The straits have to be open. The world economy depends on things being able to move, not just oil, gas, fertilizer, all these things that help keep the global economy afloat need to go through that strait.
Also feeling the pinch, Americans at the gas pumps. According to AAA, the average price for a gallon of gas remains over $4, with the prices increasing roughly 30% since the war began.
We know that this war is deeply unpopular with many Americans, and Americans are really feeling the direct impact of this conflict in their wallets.
Obviously, it's affecting our family. Like, we are tightening up our budget, not going out to eat as much, watching where we spend our money.
Be sure to stay with Nightline and ABC News for continuing coverage of the war with Iran. When we come back, With This Tear, the newly released demo from Prince a decade after his passing. You won't believe the video. With this And finally tonight, the incomparable voice of Prince. 10 years ago today, the world mourned his passing. It's tonight's Nightlight. With This Tear, originally written by the music legend for Celine Dion in 1991. Now, Prince's estate releasing the demo version for the first time, giving fans the gift of hearing the superstar's soulful voice. And his high-energy stage presence, with vintage performance clips, showcasing the dynamic force of the larger-than-life Prince Rogers Nelson. Forever a fan. That's Nightline. You can watch all of our full episodes on Disney Plus and Hulu. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time. Thanks for staying up with us. Good night, America.